Hey everyone. I know it's been a minute since I made an update on this car. I haven't really worked on it all summer, but kind of had some inspiration recently, and I made a whole bunch of progress on it. So some exciting things to update today. I'll go over kind of what I did. So the first thing is I was having this issue with the charging. Um, it would only charge when plugged in one time. Um, Now it seems to have resolved, so I can unplug it. That thing turns off. Can plug it back in multiple times, and she charges. You'll notice that the water pump comes on when it's plugged in and charging, and I think that was my issue maybe because I didn't have that. I didn't have the VCU controlling the water pump before, and now it does. So maybe it was some bug in the code that was causing it to do that. But as of right now, she's charging. It'll wrap up. The settings on that EVSC are all reset at the moment. So that's the first thing. So I'm happy about that. I got the battery tie down done. Um, I made this sort of aluminum retainer thing to just retain some of the moisture, splash moisture, so that not a lot of water can get in here. If water does get into this battery box, there's adequate drainage below, so not too worried about that. It just makes me nervous. I angled this radiator a little bit just because the airflow through this front area didn't quite look right, so I just bent it back, and maybe that'll be good enough. We'll see. The fan is actually controlled by the VCU now, so it grabs the temperature of the inverter, and it turns on and off that supplementary rad fan when it reaches a certain threshold. I got the power steering pump wired in and plumbed in, so that all worked good. I have braided lines going down into the rack, and just banjo fittings. Can't really see it. I redid the vacuum pump a little bit. So vacuum pump is down here now. It goes to a vacuum canister. The vacuum canister holds more vacuum, and then it goes up to the vacuum manifold. It's right here. And then I screwed up. I got the wrong sensor here. This is a pressure transducer as opposed to an absolute pressure manifold sensor. So like a map sensor or something. So I gotta change this out because I'm not quite getting the right values for negative pressure, which is vacuum. But once I get that sorted out, it's plugged in to the VCU, so I can turn this. It'll turn itself on and off based on pressure requirements. So like when you push the brake, or if like the HVAC system is being used to it consumes vacuum to move the valves around for the HVAC. So when it detects that it needs more vacuum, it'll flip that back on. What else? I put my my iconic stacked sway bars back in on this car. That was an old Turbo Bricks thing that I had sitting around. Just thought I'd use it. What else? We've got I didn't have a vacuum gauge, but I did have a boost gauge laying around, so that's just being used to detect vacuum. I cleaned up the relay wiring, redid a bunch of stuff. It's still kind of a work in progress, but I've just kind of been adding features to this project as we go, so the wiring is kind of a mess still. I found out that this car, when you put it in, when you go to start, the 12-volt accessory power gets interrupted. So it was getting kind of like intermittent, no starting on the inverter. So my temporary semi-permanent fix now is to just have an engine start button to initiate the inverter. So she's running now. I can hear things whirring and all. Inverter's running, so I can test that. All the gauges work for the most part. The fuel gauge is not actually getting a pulse width signal from the VCU yet, but I've got the pulse wire in the back there. It's kind of like a future thing. I'll just do that later. Same with this water temperature gauge. It's connected to the digital pot, but the code's not quite there yet to influence that gauge how it ought to be, but future, don't really need to do that right now. So the power steering pump just kind of comes on to its default. It does have CAN bus capability that you can ramp up and down the power steering demand based on the speed of the car, but for now this is fine. You can tell that this is running, so this will get really hot if it just runs all the time. I'm making good vacuum here. If I hit the brake, you'll see how much vacuum it actually consumes. So now that I've got that vacuum pressure canister, I can push the brake a number of times here before I run out of vacuum to assist. So when I let go, it just continues to pull vacuum back in. So yeah, once I get that map sensor put in, that'll turn itself on and off properly. Water pump comes on when it's running. Like I said, the rad fan doesn't come on unless it goes below or above a certain set point. So if I just set this to a lower value, there you go. So rad fan's running, so that's good. Set it back to 40 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty well the long and short of it. It's ready to drive pretty well. Pretty excited. Next video will probably be some driving footage.